what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. With that, let's get out to Southern California with the call from Los Angeles. Here are Brandon Gaudens and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Under hazy, overcast LA skies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and our own team. Brandon Gaudens and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And Warner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In most racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the first running back for the Jags. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center. Their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Here, that's complete. Following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards and catch. Defensively, you're okay with that. You're the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rally too quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, you do it all game long. They catch it, you tackle it, they go down. You're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to start them out when you do that. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency to it.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. And now whistles and a flag. I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. First and 5. He'll give it here to his running back. He'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
There we see an early person makes one of the leading rushers in the league.
Once I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film, he said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Got it in with a 1-yard gain there to make it second. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to beat them first. And if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Here to a 3rd down. Your thoughts on this D-line?
Love the unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Play action. They'll throw. It's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 27-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive was surprising either one of us after the time we spent with the coach and stopping players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
And now a kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half. When you've got a running back of this size, at these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll give him a new set of downs.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for him.
That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing before the opening drive. They like that.
And they don't just like it, they love it. Because now, everyone gets locked in. Their confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're on the sideline thinking to themselves, oh, it's pressing. Let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the middle ringer and put it in the end zone.
Get across the plains and stop it right around the wall. Second and goal from the 1. Absolutely nowhere. He's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That has set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw here. Touchdown, Jaguars. 5-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just still got just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. That makes the score 7-0. So that was a 13-play drive in total, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambo now after the touchdown to pick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but it's footwork. Always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The 34 now, and here's 1st and 10. And get this time to the tailback. Close to the 40. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Pick up a 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Run it now. Out we go. He's going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of the yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, screen, it's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. We'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Fourth down, and on is Ty Long to punt. passes away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards in the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
He's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run. That appeared to be a case of see ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now give it here to his running back. Seen much from him running the football here this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Going to be incomplete. One ended in 6, possession 2 ended it.
That's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Down on his Logan Cook to punt. 51-yard punt that time. Charger football here as they take over. And now on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves, and now they're going to affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This one's incomplete. The big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10. He's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the hook up, and then a lead to 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Safety down here at about the 40. 8 yards on the pick up there, and it moves the sticks. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best. It keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, He can make someone miss in the open field.
That is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now they'll run on the ball. They see right through that defensively. He'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. After 1-7-0 on EA Sports. The Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Taken across the 50 at the 45 and enemy territory. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Basically bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Clean. This one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Tell us in our meetings that they need to cover him on each and every play.
You think at his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something. They were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way here. Knocks back to the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that's going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. It's intercepted. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And then out of the gun. He'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Another thing from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They'll get pretty good about that one.
And then out of the gun. Down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Intercepted. Interception sets them up.
You can hear it all the way up here. Austin returned the block, find a spot. Now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now a handoff here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call loss of 2 on the play. It'll be second and 12.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
Opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. Here we go on second and 12. And it is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over in your territory up here. That's my bad. We'll get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you. Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, some of the things up here for this next play. Set up the screen. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Screen good for 6, but it's not enough. It leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This is just a 24-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing 7-3. The interception with very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for three. And it does feel unsettling with that average.
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This one taken just inside the 10. They'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. What do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is on.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, something to fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time, he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line. They're winning. He knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
It's only the second quarter, so he's got some time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
We saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And again, this time to the 10 minute. 7 up to the 35.
Offensive linemen love creating space for the guys carrying the ball. That guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage. They almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here is running back. See the close to the referee, and that means 4th down.
Advantage of the league having on the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's Logan Cook now. That's for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's much too low. The end zone for a touchback. On the field, here comes Los Angeles. Much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
If you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. That's not going to get it done in a ball game. They got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Handoff looking right. Stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
To throw now. 2nd and 10. This is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Sort of the second quarter to forget for him. 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going too. He's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those too because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
The end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on them, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best. He's swinging it on this one. Had a target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
No gain on the run there. Now they're going to be looking at a third down. When you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Complete. They'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big third down pickup of 20 yards.
They all came together there. In breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Go, 8 The play fake. He'll have to throw. Here, that's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Gain there on the completion, second and 10.
Simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
Get it to him, he can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to over Jonathan Coachman on highlights and analysis of his first half of action. 6. All the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That's going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. The offense and the defense. Let's face it, if you get the ball 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Now ahead of him. Down about the 3-yard line. A gain of the yards, they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal for the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football.
To their timeouts. So if they take it over, they step aside. Josh Lambo will attempt the field goal. He's a former Charger, remember, back in their San Diego days. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The main field goal back out Lambo to kick this one off. This will be taken in the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up, get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll lift the throw. Here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off 24.
Trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Second and 15. Incomplete. Pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, and a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
They might need to change the pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to protect the quarterback. That was awfully close.
Boy, you hate to squander this great field position. Here's third and goal. Second of their timeouts. Stopping with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. The left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lambo is good. They will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13 3. No problems. The field goal department so far is 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After that field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Get ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
And right now, under 100 yards of total offense.
Ready to break.
Shake off the interception from the last drive. To throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. It's second down.
In my observation, there's been enough Friday play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter will have time to change things. And just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Jags will use the second of their timeouts. The clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Bearcat signal for it and take it at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the
Dean start on the ground and run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. He'll be running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play, half number 1. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Teams appear ready for the fight ahead here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30 Yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half two after three first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And they have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought in. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Down. Sack back at the 46. You never want to give up a sack from the old line's perspective. They hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. The 46. They go from 146 to the other at a pick of the lead.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Let their fullback try and push the pile. This is going to depend on the spot. It's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, big man with ball, bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Down the end of that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect by scoring some points.
To get a little more cushion. 2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of this in the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's got this down to the 35. Downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Well, that was man coverage. Once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And again, this time to the 10. This has been a familiar sight all afternoon. Stop in behind the line. The loss of the yard will now bring up a 2nd and 11. 2 sacks earlier. He has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. What the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offensive backfield is something else in this game.
Down, but not before they're inside the 25. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He was becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Go, 70, 80.
To throw. He knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here to his running back. He's got room to run. And we'll get this Jaguar touchdown. A 23-yard run. The Jaguars were able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast, being second half, no matter what. Those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Lambo on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. A long run there in the end to top it off. And Lambo now after the touchdown. He'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Field, here comes Los Angeles. And the last go around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Before they make it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in the first down.
You see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch. But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here complete to his tight end. Gain of 6 there at first.
Nice rhythm fill there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy catch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here with going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it wasn't a big stretch, but that completion put him in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they're all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players, and athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got to the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville in the 1st down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Nice work to get 7 out of that. 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And then out the door. He is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got battled up.
An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard. If that, give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Hit just beyond the goal line as it's in the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Running now out of the gun. He's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain there of 12 yards on a first down LA. They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
It's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. And again this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation there. The defense won the battle. He's going to walk one deep left side here. But it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for LA. And he gets this away. Look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Starts with a completion left side, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Good for 4. Second down.
They're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Running down, out of the gun. He is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. The first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. He did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him for the first down.
Got stopped him in his tracks. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. An offense that is struggling, this is where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The first play of the drive. 23 yards, the final tally. Figure you only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. The throw. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. A single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big time strike.
Big time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up. It's 20 to 13 now. The drive there was spanning 3 plays. Ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff away. He'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football. This game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Start this drive. Find his man on the outside. Just a yard on the catch there, and it'll be second and 9.
Not able to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us second and 9. Second and 9 now. Yards on the completion, but now the first third down.
Another nice pickup through the air. I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Jaguars on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. First down at about the 38. They needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
They really need to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game is starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All the wide receiver screen is getting enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot and run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's incomplete. Bear down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7. Following the incompletion on 2nd down. Good throw. Trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football before he knew it, he was on his back.
So it just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. He deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. After the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game playing a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
Intercepted. Near the 34. Yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And right now, these guys shuffle a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From the 44 now, here's 1st and 10. And give it here to his running back. It'll bring up 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
Covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And then over the goal. 3 yards there to the 27. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to. Right now, they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
Fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score. But they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense in for the big play.
Here complete to his tight end. And he will have the first down at about the 21-yard line. 7 catches for him now. This last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
To his right. And
Basketball players and football players, but that's adopted in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. A gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Incomplete.
Judge that one. He didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Maybe you do start to watch. There's the arm there, the legs still there. This has been a tough game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lambo will put this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game. Able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
After the main field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. No run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out from The next possession. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Second down and inches. Man on the outside. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
Yeah.
It wasn't an interception.
You're a nice guy. That was kind of sad. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A gain of 4, and it'll leave it with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow his offensive lineman to get up to the second level.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And that should do it. 27. The intersection moves just continue to bounce. 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now a handoff on the chalk and at 45. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And give this time to the tailback. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They try the right side here. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Last play they got stumped at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards. Like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your own crowd, but when you go out on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. I'm happier than.
I remember a coach in a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. They did it this one. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, as always, part of an extreme pleasure to share with you. I have to say, I'm impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed, you go into the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're spelled in good shape. Yeah, you cheated a little bit.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.